So this video is for false lash strip application. And what we're going to talk about first is what we do even before the client comes. So we arrive to work and the first thing we're going to do is going to wash our hands. So we're going to wet our hands under the water, and then we're going to identify and find that liquid hand soap. We're going to place some in our palms, and we're going to rub our palms together down to the wrist, the back of the hands down to the wrists. We're going to rub our fingers together, backs of the fingers, of course, fingertips and nails. We're going to wash in between the fingertips, between the fingers and between the fingers and the thumb. We're doing all of that for 20 to 30 seconds. We're washing our thumbs, we're washing our wrists, and then we're going to give it a really good rinse. Once it's rinsed, we identify some disposable paper towels. We turn the sink off using that hand, dry everything and discard in the trash, and we always finish up our hand wash with hand sanitizer, 70% ethyl alcohol. So we're going to do that. And then we need to get our client service area, bed, etc. Disinfected and ready for our client. So what we're going to do is disinfect our workstation, bed, and equipment using a disinfectant wipe following the manufacturer's instructions. We're going to dispense products needed for the service. So we're going to prepare disposable portion cups for each product with a portion of product by opening the top of the container and ensuring the tip of the nozzle does not come into contact with the disposable portion cup or tray. Or we can remove the product with a disinfected or clean single-use spatula that you would dispose, close the lid of the product, and set the portion cup or tray on the tray. And then we place disposable table paper on the disinfected bed. And so I'm going to show you what I've got set up for this on my tray right here. So I have my makeup remover or cleanser in my disposable container. I've got antiseptic solution. I've got those cotton rounds, single-use disposable. I have disposable mascara wands. Of course, lash glue and lashes. I have my tweezers, and I have a small pair of scissors. I've got a disposable pair of gloves and paper towels. And then I have single-use applicator to put the glue on, and then that's going to go in the trash as well. So my tray's ready to go, and I'm going to go and meet and greet my client. So I greet my client, and I escort them to the work area. And of course, my hands are clean when I do that. I'm assessing the client's current style. I'm determining the client's preferences and assessing the client's needs. I assess the client's skin by performing a skin analysis to ensure that there is no inflamed, infected, broken, raised, or swollen skin in the area to be worked on, or an open wound or sore in the area to be worked on, or infection or infestation. An example of that would be lice, to prevent from safely performing the service. I'm going to assess the client's consultation form for any medications and products used within the last 72 hours, and I'll consult on any known allergies. I'm going to consult with the client on any facial surgeries within the last 3 months, and if the client is under a physician's care, assess if the client is prone to cold sores or fever blisters, assess if the client has used exfoliating or lightening agents within the last 72 hours, like alpha hydroxy acids, beta hydroxy acids, hydroquinone, etc. Assess facial injections within the last 3 weeks, like Botox or hyaluronic fillers. If the client is free from the above, the student can move forward with the procedure. So she's okay, so we can. So I'm going to get her comfortable, and then I'm going to wash my hands. So let's talk about getting her ready. So we want to, I've got a towel here for her. I'm going to put a headband or like a hairnet or something to get the hair out of the face, because we're going to be working on the lashes. So I'm going to make sure I do that. And that way nothing gets in the way. Got that done here. And then we're going to put her drape on. So nice, and she's comfortable. And then we're going to wash our hands before we begin the service. So once again, we're going to wet our hands under the water. We're going to find that liquid hand soap. We are going to wash hands down to the wrist, backs of the hands down to the wrist, fingers, of course, backs of fingers, between the fingers and the thumb, fingertips and nails, washing the thumbs, We make sure that we do all of that, of course, for 20 to 30 seconds minimum. We wash our wrists and then we rinse thoroughly. When we have thoroughly rinsed, we identify either a clean towel or a disposable paper towel. We turn the water off with the towel or disposable. We wash, we dry really, really, really good. When we're dry, we grab our hand sanitizer to finish that. And then we have to apply our disposable gloves because with this service, you need to wear your gloves. So you gotta make sure those hands are dry in order to get the gloves on, or that can become difficult. And what we want to do first is we want to remove any eye makeup that she may have on. So we are going to get our cotton round and get some of the remover. And if you need to repeat this step, you can. Now, because she's a mannequin, it's wet, so I'm going to dry it off. You do not need to do that. I just don't want to try to put her lashes on if my mannequin is wet. So you would not be doing this, but I am. Making sure she's dry. Once you've done that, you're going to grab your disposable mascara wand and you are going to comb through her lashes. Just getting everything ready, and that way you can see where you're going to lay your lash strip. And that's disposable as well. And the first thing with your lashes that you want to do is you need to measure them. There's also an important note. There is a right and a left when you're using your lash strip. So you want to know the shortest side of the lashes goes in to the inside of the eye, the longest part to the outside. So what we're going to do is take one of the lash strips with our hands. You don't need your tweezers or scissors or anything, or glue. And you're going to lay it along her lash line. And then what you're doing basically is to see if you have extra at the end of the lash. So you're never going to trim on the inside of that lash strip. You're always going to trim on the outside. This one, ironically, is perfect to her eye shape and size, but I'm going to show you what I would do if I had excess. So I'm just going to show you. I'm going to pretend like it's too long, and if you see on the top of my fingers, there's some extra there. So what you do is then you would grab those small scissors and you would trim it off. And you would definitely trim it above your fingers, not below, so to the top. And hold it over either the trash can or the tray so that extra piece doesn't go on your client. And then it's time to apply this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply some glue to the back of that lash strip with a disposable applicator. And you're just going to want to think about doing a nice even application, not too much, not too little. And I'm just putting it on the root of the lash strip from end to end, of course. Just take your time, and then you're going to throw this guy away. And then you're going to grab your tweezers because you're going to hold the lashes with the tweezers. And I usually hold kind of towards the center of that lash strip. It's up to you. But you're going to lay that as close as you can to the lash line. And then you're going to press the short side in first. So you want to lay it on top of her lashes as close as you can to the lash line. And then you can press it into the lash line at the end because you've got that first part pressed already with your finger. They look great. And she's gonna be there for about 4 to 5 seconds. I'm just making sure that I'm giving it an opportunity to stick. And before I go on to the other side, it looks awesome. There was a little shift there. I'm just putting it right back on. And that's the thing, before the glue's totally dry, you may have the option where you can kind of get it a little closer to the lash line, etc. All right, so we're gonna measure our other side. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna put the short side closest to the nose. No glue on it, just right now we're just measuring. We're gonna take it in there, we're gonna see, and like I said, it really lines up well, but what we're gonna do to practice is we're gonna say that it was a little bit too long, and so we've got the long side measured out. There's a little bit above. That was a little bit too long, so we find our scissors, and we would trim that top part off, out of the way. And then we're gonna go over and just apply the glue to the back of the lash strip. And how you know it's the back is the lashes curl up and out. I don't know if you can see that. So the back side is like the front and the back. So the front goes, whoop, and so you wanna go on the underneath side with your glue. And once again, corner to corner, I like to put the thinnest amount possible, but still enough that it would stick, so it doesn't get gloppy or yucky in the lashes. Throw that out. Grab your tweezers. Hold the lash. And then you're gonna come over to the lash, and remember, we're gonna lay it as close as we can, but we are going to press, when we apply it, we are going to press that inner corner down first and work our way out as we're pressing. And there's just a tiny bit of glue. It might be from my glove. No big deal. I'm just going to remove that corner right there. And once again, we've got that 4 to 5 second dry down. Give it a second because it'll lift up if you don't. Let it do that. And her lashes look awesome. So these are different because they're like single strip, like, so when you wash your face, they're gonna come right off. So once you finish that with your client, you're gonna discuss any follow-up or maintenance and aftercare. So with this, it's a little bit different with these strips. You can take them off when you wash your face, and then she could reapply them again at home if she wanted to. They don't really last, it's not gonna be like weeks or months of wear. So you can tell her maybe how to extend that wear, how to take them off, how to reapply them. But it's going to be easy. So then she's ready to go. So you are going to just, take off the drape, take off the headband, and get her checked out. And then you have to address your disinfecting and your cleaning to finish up the service. So you want to identify this implement, and you want to put them into a closed container that's labeled to be disinfected. You're going to discard any single-use items that you are done with. You are going to place the cape, the towel, the cape, the headband, the towel, anything, any linens that you've used would be in a closed container until it's time to do the laundry. And then you're going to clean and disinfect your work area. So you're going to properly identify a cleaning agent and read the manufacturer's directions. You're going to follow the manufacturer's directions for mixing and usage. You're going to wipe down your workstation and area with cleaning solution to remove debris. You'll identify disinfectant that is bactericidal, virucidal, and fungicidal, EPA approved for use in a salon setting. You will follow manufacturer's directions for mixing and or using the appropriate aerosol disinfectant. You will disinfect electrical equipment stored in a clean area separate from other implements. And then you're going to remove your disposable gloves. You have one final step before you can move on to your next client, and that would be, of course, the proper hand wash. So you're going to, once you discard your disposable gloves, turn the faucet on, wet your hands, find that liquid hand soap, run them under the water, and then get the liquid hand soap in like a coin size on your palms. Rub your palms together down to your wrists. You're going to wash the back of your hands down to the wrist, your fingers, the back of your fingers, between those fingers, then between the fingers and the thumbs. You're going to do the fingertips and the nails, wash the thumbs. Of course, you're going to do your wrists, and then all of that for a minimum of 20 to 30 seconds, and then you're going to thoroughly rinse. To turn off the faucet, you need to grab a disposable paper towel or clean towel, turn it off with that, dry everything down beautifully, discard that, and then you're going to finish with your hand sanitizer. And once you have done all of that, you can then head to your next client, continue your day, you're ready to go. So that concludes false lash single application.